there are lots. This is one. Can do this plus equals 10. So what will this do? If I print sum now, what do you think the output is going to be for this? I've commented this one out. So what is this one going to output now? Sum plus equals 10. These are assignment operators. So they allow you to assign value or reassign value. For this one, it's just assignment of value. For this one, it's more or less like reassigning value to a particular variable you have declared before. So can someone guess what this is going to print? Do we understand how this one did? Because when I did sum divide equals 2, it brought 5.0.
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you think that works? Okay, I think I showed us here. I said it's the same thing as saying sum is equal to sum divided by 2. So all what is doing is just taking whatever that is inside sum. Are we getting it? Divide it by whatever value that you put here, and then store it back inside sum. Do we get that? That's exactly the same thing any other one would do. So what's the value for this? What is this going to output if I run this code? Let me do this. Can we see the output?
10, we have 10 and 20.
It's brought 20.
Yeah, 10, we have 10, 20.
Yeah,
yeah.
the first 10 is from here. It's from print sum. You understand? At this point, the value inside some variable is 10, right?
Okay.
So when you move forward, you said, okay, you're not okay with the value that is there previously, that you want to update whatever that is inside sum. And that's what this line is doing, this reassignment operator. So what you are reassigning to sum is, you are just adding 10 to whatever that exists inside sum before. And before, sum contains 10. So adding 10 to 10 is going to give you 20.
20, okay.
So let me comment this out and show you how this works. So I told you that this is the same thing as saying sum equals sum plus 10, right? So if I run this, this should give me the same answer. Can we see it?
Yeah.
There are situations where you actually need this. When you're iterating through a value and you want to keep updating whatever that is inside it. When we get to if statement now, I will show us an example of this so that we can be able to relate with what is going on. So you can use any kind of operator. I think we learned about maybe 5 or 10 of it yesterday. Whatever one you want to change to. You can use multiplication on this. You can even use power. Remember double asterisk yesterday. You can multiply by 10. Yeah. So let's move forward. I'm going to show us another type of data type today before we go to the if statement and all. So let's go to list. We've talked about strings. We've talked about numbers. Let's go to list. List is another way that you can store values in Python. So list is actually a data type that allows you to store a collection of values of different types. Are you following? So it allows you to store collection of value of different types. When you undo your strings, you understand that it is only one value that is taken. when you undo your integer or your float, it's taking one particular data type. So you cannot put 20 and then put text together with it. But with list, you can put anything, you can put more than one value, and then you can put values of different data types inside the Python list. So there are two ways to access the contents of a list in Python. The first one is through indexing. And I think you can remember that we did indexing yesterday. Can we remember?
Yes.
Yeah, when we're trying to access this part. I'm coming. I have the code here. I'm going to show us. Yeah. You remember what we were doing? When we're accessing the text, the string we have character by character, that's indexing. Slicing is when we access it like a kind of, we get a sub list or subset of it. And that's what we did there. So the same thing for lists. To iterate through a list, you can do it in two ways. Is either you are indexing or you are slicing. So let's move forward. Now the same thing that indexing does on a string is the same thing it's going to do for this one. But let's first move to how we can actually initialize or declare a list in Python. So let's say I have some set of scores that I want to store. This is a list. Are we following? Okay, Emmanuel is here. Yeah. So I've declared a list that contains 4 scores. You can declare a list that has multiple items inside it, or let me say items of different data type, like I said earlier. So let's do this. I have this that has sugar, it has 50, it has bag, 100, 5.0. Now on a norm, you're not supposed to put something like this together in a variable, right? But list actually allows you to do something like this. So it's that flexible. Now, how do you iterate through a list and get the values that are inside the list? There are different ways to do that. I said indexing or even through slicing. So the first one is using indexing. So all I just have to do is to do prints, then scores, then the index. I supply an index now. So using this index, using 0, what do you think this is going to print?
I think it's showing some error, some red buttons there.
Okay, that's the second. That's the one I'm still writing.
Okay.
Okay, so what will this first one print? Let me see what this one is showing. Okay, it's telling me that it cannot see what? It said undefined name score. Remember what I told you yesterday, that Python is actually case sensitive. So what I used there was scores, but here I put score. So it's not seeing score as a variable that have been declared or assigned before. So I'll change it, then the error will go. So what do you think the first one is going to print?
We have 0.
56. Who said 56?
Manual.
Okay, that's the manual. So that's from the knowledge of what we did yesterday. When we use indexing yesterday, it was on strings, right? On text. So we said each for index is going to iterate through whatever text that you pass to it, and then it's going to pick it character by character. So these numbers I'm passing represent position. And I said it starts reading from 0 upward. So this 0 means go to where scores, this list, go to where it is, then pick the first item there. So what this is supposed to print is going to be 56. Then this second one, what number is going to print? Another person. What's it going to print?
20.
20. Who said 20? Is that?
Addition.
Okay, this is addition. 20. Okay, let's see. That's 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you are very right. So this is another one. What will this print? Can we remember?
20.
Yeah. Thank you. That's addition again, right? So what this does, when we explained yesterday, is supposed to print the last item on the list. You understand? So I'm just showing you all these examples so that you at least you know that it's still the same concept. Now what this is going to print is the third to the last item, and which should be 78. So let's do this. Let's run this. Okay. Ignore these two because that's the result from
the first one we did.
Yeah, the first one we did. So can we confirm our answers? Were we right?
Yeah, 56, 20, 20. Sorry, why do we have 20 twice? Because here you have -1.
All right. Now
in the third row.
Yeah. Now for the third row, we have -1, and -1 is supposed to be doing what? Supposed to be printing the last item on the list. That's what -1 is. You understand? When it's going in the reverse way, it starts from -1, -2, -3. Are you getting it? So the last item here is 20.
Yeah.
And then this one also, which is supposed to be printing the this one, which is supposed to be printing the fourth item, is also referring to 20 because 20 is actually at position in index 3. Do we get it? 0, 1, 2, 3. That's why it's printing 22 times.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now using slicing, I'm still going to ask us to be saying what this is going to print. Cause so what is this going to print?
$78, if I'm right.
78. Who is speaking?
Ayodele.
Okay, Ayodele is 78. Let's see. This is 1. All right. Okay. We'll run it and confirm, but then I won't say for now. Any other person that wants to say something? What do you think is printing? Ayodele said 78. So and we remember how slicing works. Now what slicing does is to pick subset of the list. So it's kind of generate a sub list for you. I'm talking in terms of list now. So it's still the same way it works on strings, it's still the same way it works here. So what this is going to do is to go to index 1, right? Which is 0, 1, which is 78, right? But then it's not stopping at 78. There is something after it here. Do we get it? Which is what will make it to print everything that follows 78. You understand? That's what that column is doing. This one is going to go to index 0 and then print these 3. You understand? 58, 78, 90. And this is going to print everything that is in the list. So let's run this and confirm. Can we see it?
Yes.
Any question?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can go ahead. And you can also put your questions in the comments section too.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can. You can ask the question.
Okay. The question is, the second point that we have is 0 column 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's assume we have 0 column 3. So that is in 56 and 78.
Let's assume we have what? 0 column 2. Is that your question?
Yes. 0 column 2.
Can you type? Just type your question. Your audio is not clear.
Right?
Can you type your question?
Okay.
Your audio is not clear. Put it in the chat box, then I'll read it. But I think what he's trying to ask,
About, okay.
your audio is not clear. That's what I'm saying. I didn't get your question well. But I think what you asked is that what if we have 2 here and it's not 3? That what is it going to print 56 and 78? Was that your question?
Yes, that was my question.
Yeah. So you are right. It's going to print 56 and 78. Because what it's going to do is pick 0, go to where 0 is, and then start iterating and stop at 2. So it's not kind of printing 2. You understand? So it's going to 0, 1. So let's run this and see if we answered your question. Can you see it?
Yes.
Oluwaseun, can you see the output?
Yes, I can.
So are you clear now? Now let's go to operations on list. I remember yesterday we did something about operations on strings and what different operations that we can do. We saw how we did uppercase, lowercase, all of that, right? So now there are different set of operations that can be performed on a list as well. It includes something like deleting of list item, updating list item, and all of that. So let's see. Let's go to adding elements to a list. So to add elements to a list, I can do this.